Hey, Sir Henry. Good morning. What's up, Nadish? Riznix, Tricky, Blackhearted. Oh, don't spoil it, Chris. Don't spoil it. We can go explore that together. Hey, Lucky Angel. I'm excited to see everything they did for FCC and Operator Cigarette. Stoked. Hey, Shio. Good to see you, buddy. Who are we fighting today? We're fighting an expensive brand of cars. Morning, MCSDM. How you doing, buddy? I thought I was dreaming when I refreshed and saw the bounce patch. I know it's been a long time in coming, hasn't it? The last balance patch of 2024. Hell yeah. Stove is on fire. It's that good, huh? Top team looks fair. Is this really the team we're going with? You're about to recruit ML Politis. Now you're getting FCC, right? Christy Kenrawana. Kenrawana. Why aren't we using... What is Christy doing here that, just simply running, Elvira wouldn't do better? Yeah, Friedrich, it now that everybody kind of knows the trick for doing, Conqueror's Flag and, Ancient Shield, everything is just going so much easier in AI. We're really taking a lackadaisical half-ass approach to it this time around, and we're killing it even faster than we've ever killed it before. We killed it yesterday, I think. Excuse me. Go with the lifesteal one. Okay, everybody's saying use Eula, so I guess we'll give her a try. I guess maybe I should put gear on her. Immunity. Sure, why not? Okay, I guess that's it. Oh wait, she already had immunity. Oh, god damn it. I changed her weapon. Okay, what did I break up? This was a defense set. Okay, sure. What the fuck ever. Did I see the bounce patch? No, we're going to take a look at it here together in just a second. I'm here and it's pretty stacked, though. I'm excited about the FCC and OpSig buffs. Let's see. How about a... Yeah, you're just going to cleanse it. I'm going to wait around, put her defense buff up later. Oh, dude, that provoke was sick. Pow, 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 pow. That Yufine is so dead. Morning, Dom. I just finished putting AI gears on an injury albedo. What's wrong with you? There's no FCC or OpSig buff. Man, next thing you're going to tell me is that Han Solo gets killed in the new Star Wars movie. Thanks for the spoilers, man. I'll just do this to reveal. Kick, 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 kick. Man, this team's just murdering. Flan was Elvira was definitely the choice here. I don't know why people were running Christie. Maybe they wanted to dust off Christie, right? I don't know, PoE2. I haven't looked at the patch notes yet. Don't spoil. Should have put that in the title. No spoilers. You got a Fumir dupe this morning? She's a lot of fun. 240 effectiveness. Yikes. Why didn't I put Eula in the back? That was really stupid. Guess we can hurt this. Just don't anyone die. Okay, we're good. Barrier there. We can just straight up murder this Mort if we get a defense break here. Proof of Valor Mort. What's wrong with people? It's here. Oh, shit. I guess we're going to take another hit from what's-her-nut there, because I want to kill Mort. Right, Joe? No! Hang in there, girly. Hey, we gotta proc this. Oh, that stun is sick! Hell yeah. Get the hell off my screen. Easy fight, even though I screwed up the placement. Okay, before anybody else jumps in and tries to spoil a good time, let's go check out the balance patch, right? Let's see. Get a window open here. There we go. That's a pretty good side. Balance, man, it's been a long time in coming, right? But hey, it's right on schedule for when the balance patch should be out, right? 12/19 is 8 weeks from the last balance patch. They've just gone back to the 2-week notification cycle, which is a little disappointing. They had extended it to the 4-week notification cycle to gauge community's feedback, get our responses, and so they could make some changes based on what we thought, so we could help drive the game a little bit more. And it seems they have either scrapped that idea, or at least this time scrapped it, and have gone back to just the 2-week announcements like they had before last time, which I feel is a little disappointing. But hey, now everybody can finally lock in their headhunt choices. So who did we balance? Show me OPSIG and FCC. OPSIG and FCC. There is no OPSIG or FCC, but Pirate Captain Flan. We all kind of knew Pirate Captain Flan was getting buffs, right? Her skin is coming out. The last buffs were insane, but smooth brain morons were convinced it was somehow bad because it broke their 2019 Silver RTA style of play, and they convinced Smilegate to roll back what was otherwise incredibly powerful buffs. So hopefully those got restored, or at least I doubt they'll restore it. Smilegate usually doesn't walk back on buffs, but hopefully they did something just as good, if not better, right? Loser Charles, is he no longer a loser? Is Charles going to be good now? Archdemon Shadow, yikes. This one's kind of scary. I mean, we've seen how horrifying Luna is with seals. If they're going to make her an even more aggressive seal unit, I don't know. We'll see. Eligos is getting buffed again. Chloe. I mean, I guess that's good. Nobody uses Chloe anywhere. Shit. It really worries me when I see PvE units on a balance patch. It worries me the way, I mean, because look what they did to Alots, right? Alots was a perfectly functional PvE unit, and they tried to force Alots into RTA, and all they did was effectively remove them from the entire game, and now nobody plays them anywhere. I'm really hoping what they did here doesn't break her usefulness in lab, and what they did here doesn't break her usefulness in Guild Wars and PvE in general. We'll see. Sigurd's Scythe. Wait a minute, Smilegate. Wait a minute. I'm on to you, Smilegate. I see what you're doing here. So I'm expecting a really good buff to Sigurd's Scythe right before limited Senya artifact drops into the shop. Or drops into the powder shop. And not only they're buffing Eligos, they're buffing his artifact too. Which is good, really, because this artifact is garbage tier. Like, there just aren't any rangers that use it. Okay, so let's see what we did. The big one, Pirate Captain Flan. There's not a lot of text here, guys. Okay. Attacks the enemy with a gun with a 75% chance to steal one buff. That's going away. That's just turning it into a 100% chance to steal a buff. Okay. So they removed the RNG from her steal. I don't see a defense break on the S1 anymore, so the 6 synergy she would have had with Fire Flan is still not here. And Scourge of the Sea. So redirects 30% of the damage to the foremost ally, just like Seaside Bologna. And they are changing it to just 30% mitigation. They're not Ariusing her damage into the frontline unit anymore. They're Ariusing her damage into the ether, right? They're just making her much harder to kill. They're effectively putting an Arius level unconditional adamant on her. It is damage reduction, not damage transfer, so this will work with Arius, but will not work with adamant. So they're making her a lot bulkier. They're not giving her a defense break. They're giving her 100% steel debuff. Let me see. Using execution, when the caster has a buff, activates Hunt. Hunt can be activated once every 2 turns. 15% morale push. After an ally attacks, if the target does not have a buff, activates Hunt. After an ally. Okay. Remember when they use the phrasing after an ally attacks, that means any ally of you, the player, not of Flan. So this means it can include Flan as well. Did they just make her a shitty bridge unit? Is that all she does now? Is she steals a buff and then you can hit the enemy that you stole the buff on and push. So I mean, it's another Harsetti counter, right? You can use Zeo first, S3, strip whatever from any target on Zeo. Yeah, like if you Zeo S3 into any target that doesn't have a buff, then Hunt's going to activate, push the rest of your team up, and the rest of your team gets to go. But then you still have Flan. You know what I also don't see? I don't see her placing a bomb on her S1. So she's still going to need Deep Star of the Deep. She's still going to need a limited artifact at plus 30. You're still going to kind of want to run her with Summertime Assaria, which means you're going to need 2 of those. 2 plus 30 Star of the Deep Seas. She's still not accessible. She's going to be harder to kill. That's the only thing, like, right? This 30% damage suffered, especially if you pair her with an Arius Knight. She's going to be able to get her big bang attack off more often. And the bridging is nice for Harsetti, but I have a feeling Harsetti's on her way out. I don't get it, guys. What's chat saying? Selene stocks keep going up. You got it. Bridge galore. They're finally making Zeo the GOAT. Oh, yeah, Zeo's always been the GOAT. Still need Star of the Deep Sea, right? Right? She is still not really good. Yeah, bottles. You'll need 2 star. And who runs Caesarea anymore? I mean, Caesarea is really good, but she's not exactly super common. Okay, so they took her from needs a buff tier and moved her up to the bottom of the niche tier. She still has a niche, and her niche is the way the dumbass played her in silver is going to be a little bit better. And for everybody else, it's still not a real unit. Yeah, thanks, Stove Warrior. I'm sure you're really happy about this. Now the way you play Pirate Captain Flan in bronze and silver is going to be better. And for the rest of us, we've got a really nice skin for a unit that is still incredibly niche and hard to use. I hope I'm wrong on this. I hope I'm missing something. Pirate Captain Flan will be enhanced, will be adjusted to enhance synergy and survivability. Well, they're clearly enhancing survivability. I mean, except they're not. She's going from 30% decreased damage suffered to 30% decreased damage suffered. They're not changing her survivability at all. They're just making her survivability not to the detriment of somebody else on the team. She's still the exact same level of bulk, right? I guess, except you could say, well, this right here plus Aureus is better than this plus Adamant. I guess you could say that. More people run Aureus than Adamant, so I guess if you synergize her with an Adamant Knight, she is more survivable, but in a vacuum, she's no more survivable. And enhanced synergy with who? I guess with Zeo. I guess she has enhanced synergy with Zeo for people that are looking for ways to get past Harsetti. What niche is she having? The same niche she had for the 5 people that still played her in Silver, right? Running her with Summertime Assyria, she'll be good. You'll be able to Zeo into her to bridge the team. I mean, bridge units are never bad. It's just that after she bridges, I don't know that she's going to do enough. Maybe aggro's going to find a way to make her work out. Maybe. Execution will have a 100% chance to steal buffs. So, I mean, that's the thing. If you run a faster one, she can steal a buff so that somebody else can hit the unbuffed unit, bridging the rest of your team up. Maybe, kind of, sort of. With these adjustments, Pirate Captain Flan is expected to shine when paired with various heroes in a wide range of strategies. Objectively false, I think. We'll let the chefs cook, right? I am no RTA expert by any stretch, but I'm not feeling it, guys. I think this is a big sideways buff. This is a lot of text that's not really going to change her use by anybody who's not already using her. The handful of people that are already using her, this is going to make her just, I mean, it's obviously better, right? 25% higher chance to steal a buff, objectively better. An Aureus effect instead of an Adamant effect, objectively better. Anybody attacks a non-buff target bridge as opposed to after she uses a skill when she's buffed, it's a bridge. So makes it easier for her to be a bridge on the team. You don't need her giga fast to have her effectively bridge the team. It's objectively better for the way she's currently run. The problem is the way she's currently run is not viable in a modern meta unless you're in like sub-masters level RTA. I'm very disappointed about this because what this means is we're very unlikely to see another buff for her in the near future. But I don't know, maybe she'll get the Melissa treatment, right? Maybe she'll be on every single patch and they'll ease into making her good slow enough that stupid people on Stove don't get it reversed. Man, I hate that guy. I'm really mad about that. Loser Charles. What did we do to Closer Charles? So we're just adding stuff. So now Demolition absorbs some of the damage dealt as health. So we're giving him some self-sustain with Elimination. And we're increasing the damage. So even more healing from it because even more damage. And if the enemy's health is less than 30%, increases the combat risk caster by 50%, is going to, at the start of the first battle, increases evasion for 1 turn. Okay, so they're giving him the evasion built in. And after an ally, except for the caster attacks, even if the health is below 40%, increases the combat risk caster by 50%, grants perception for 2 turns. This is not bad, but he's still kind of slow. After an ally attacks, except for the caster, if the enemy's health is less than 40%, increases the combat risk caster by 50%, grasp perception for 2 turns. If he was faster, this would be great. Okay, hear me out. This is a preparation buff, right? This doesn't look like it does anything until he gets an EE that gives him 10 speed. Right? What do you guys think? This buff and an EE that gives him 10 speed. And suddenly this guy's used everywhere. Yeah, I think this is preparation for a buff. I'm sorry, I think this is in preparation for an exclusive equipment. Right now, I don't think this does much of anything. The increased evasion for 1 turn, I guess you could try using him into Selene and just be hopeful that Selene doesn't hit. But I tell you, Selene hitting him twice, because Selene will push up and then she'll hit him again. I think she would kill Closer even on double misses. Valky said the same thing about the EE. Good. Somebody that knows a lot about RTA said what I just said. I feel pretty good about that. That makes me feel good. Yeah. Yeah, I think right now this does nothing, but I think it sets the stage. So, yeah. Definitely, definitely. Hopefully Pirate Flan is being prepped for an EE. What I don't like about Pirate Flan is she's still dependent on a maxed out limited artifact. And an EE is not going to fix that. Well, I guess it could, right? The EE could say, applies a bomb when she single target attacks. There you go. Oh, anyway. Archdemon Shadow. Okay, this is the one I was worried about, right? Because of Seal. Has a 75% chance to seal, up to a 100% chance to seal. And we ignore ER on a soul burn. So this really isn't a change, right? I mean, other than that, you're going into, say Bellions. It makes it more consistent. Or you just happen to be out of souls. This is more consistent because you always soul burn for the 100% and ignore ER. And if you soul burn, it's ignore ER and still 100%. So all this does is take a little bit of the necessity on soul burns away. So this is nice. This is nice for when Bellions are involved. What else do we have? It's not AoE, right? Seals the enemy singular. Thank God they're not turning her into ML Luna. Whew. Damage suffered from a critical hit, blah, blah. After using Touch of Chaos, has a 40% chance to activate Burst. Chance is doubled when the target is sealed. Okay, after using a basic skill, when the target is sealed, increases attack of the caster.
Why do I feel like the Chloe buff is for next writ?
I don't know. Stop spoiling. Okay, so we go from a 40% to an 80% chance to use Burst, and now it's after a basic skill is used. When the target is sealed, increase the attack of the caster for 1 turn. Okay, so we are just going from a 80% chance when there's a seal to a 100% chance. And we're attack buffing before Burst goes off. Okay. Burst has a 60% chance to blind for 1 turn. And now Burst has still has the 25% CR push, still has focus. Successful attack deals additional damage for... Well, this is good against Flan, but where's my blind? And we're decreasing the amount of the amount it's going to be damaged just because we're getting the flat pop damage. So she's going to be objectively worse into Crowl because the AoE splash is going to activate or AoE hit's going to activate his barriers, and then the splash damage will just go into the barriers, do nothing, and now nobody's blinded. I don't like this. One of the nice things about running ADS was you could keep people from killing her because you could blind the enemy. This additional damage proportional to attack thing, I think we're going to see a lot more of this here and there because Flan is such a big problem. And being able to do that pop damage is kind of huge for getting rid of Afternoon Soak Flan. But anyway, we're making Burst more reliable, and we're giving her an attack buff, and we're doing additional damage based on the attack. We're lowering the skill's damage a little bit, but that's going to be a net positive because of the attack buff and the pop damage. Dissolution. We'll ignore the Unawakened. Dissolution. 70% chance to defense break for 2 turns is changing to an 80% to defense break for 2 turns. Okay. So an EE level boost to her chance to defense break, and that's nice. The defense break is good. This is strong, right? We're making her seal a lot more consistent. We're making burst happen a lot more often. We're increasing her attack, which is going to let her do more damage on burns, which is going to put you more of a timer. I like everything about this except for the loss of the blind. I really, really don't like the loss of the blind. What are you guys saying? Let's see. This patch is like an afternoon soak flan. You still have to successfully hit. Let me see. After using a basic, let me see. Yeah, a successful attack. So miss isn't going to do pop damage. So you're right. Well, this works if you seal flan, right? You seal flan and then you cut through most of the evasion. You can still possibly hit, but you're right. The pop damage is only after a successful attack. So if she dodges, there's no pop. And there's no strip for the seal, right? Yeah, so immunity's still a problem. Yeah, it makes her better into Ed for the people who are around for Ed. The blind isn't that big of a deal for me. I think the blind is one of the things that made her incredibly difficult to deal with, right? We're not doing anything to address her bulkiness or tankiness. And blind helped keep her alive, helped get her, you know, help trigger her counter, helped her counter, helped build stacks. I'm not going to say she's bad, guys. 100% chance to seal is freaking huge. I don't know if this will change her usability, the extra defense break. We'll have to see. I wish this wasn't on a successful attack. See, it's weird. Attacks all enemies, so I guess everybody gets the pop that it hits and the ones that it evades on. I think this will increase her usage.
I smell living creatures. Who, ha, how we.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll let the chefs cook. I'm not sure that this is really going to change your usage that much, but it could. 100% seal is nice. Everything here is good. I hate losing blind. I don't know why I'm so hung up on that. It's not like I use this character that much, but it feels like if they had left blind on here, a successful attack has a 60% chance to blind and deals proportion, then she'd be used. I think I'd use her heavily. Her S1 bypasses accuracy check. The seal applies before attacking. So the seal bypasses accuracy, but the attack does not. It'll still say miss, but it'll apply seal. Think about like using Melissa's S3. It'll still put curse on even on a miss. Archdemon Shadow will be adjusted to address the limitations caused by the high number of probable elements in her skill effects. First, the chance of sealing is up by 100%. Nice. Additionally, burst will be triggered 100% when she's target is sealed. Also nice. Decreases hit chance. Previous. Yeah, it's a straight up buff. It's a good buff. I don't know if it goes far enough to make her meta. I don't know if this is going to make anybody want to swap their headhunt pick to Archdemon Shadow, but it definitely makes her draftable. I think we're moving her into the B tier and out of the C tier. I don't know if this will put her in the A tier yet. We'll have to see how people test. Okay, Eligos. Attacks may be dashing toward when the caster's perception. We're getting rid of when the casters grant perception and when the caster's granted greater attack. triggers dual attack. So I assume we're doing something to give him Gab, right? So obviously we're doing something to give him Gab. And we're getting rid of Perception. Okay, let's move on. Increases the hit chance and critical damage by 50%. Hit chance, not crit hit. Hit chance. When an enemy except for the caster defeats an enemy, activates Time Bomb against the enemy with the lowest health. Okay. And Time Bomb grants greater attack. There we go. Okay, so when somebody on your team kills somebody, it's going to give Eligos Gab. He's going to throw the suitcase and blow them up. And that's what's going to let him dual attack. He no longer needs Perception to hit through Evasion. He's just going to get it naturally. And they're giving him a resource reduction. But only against whoever he hits. Increases combat race to cast by 50%. Damage dealt decreases. Damage dealt increase. They really are focused on effing over Flan, right? So he resource reduce. Let's say he attacks into Afternoon Soak Flan. He drops her resources by 60%. So unless she has got 4 or more of her focus filled up, she's going to lose all of her focus. And she is going... Actually, unless her focus bar is full, she's going to lose all of her focus. She'll lose 4 ticks of focus. And then that drops her down to just a 50%. So he's got a guaranteed chance to hit Flan. Guaranteed chance to hit Flan. And he's going to have a chance to dual attack after an ally kills something. But how would you use him? This doesn't really deal with Flan when just besides when cleaving, no? They want to create more evasion. You don't think this is a sign they're going to create more 100% evasion units? I don't think so. We've still got the closer Charles problem of what's this guy do after Flan's taken out of the fight? I guess the dual attack with the highest attack damage unit is good. Aggro unit versus Child Senya? Yeah, you know, everything he does is single target. Maybe he is. Maybe he is being built as something to go after, after Child Senya. His occlusive equipment, let's see. At the start of the first battle, grants stealth, 2-turn stealth. Wow. A 2-turn stealth, guys.
Wait a min.
Holy.
Does work the resources reduction work on total available focus or all of the focus in the unit's kit?
It works on the focus in the unit's kit, but if you take the unit below 1 focus, right? Like half a bar focus is effectively the same as none, if I'm not mistaken. So 60%, even if there's 1 focus, that's going to take it down to below half, so effectively none. 2 focus is going to take, if she had 2 focus, it's going to take her down to 0.8 focus, which is effectively none. So she's going to need 3 or more focus to have any kind of evasion. She starts with 50. That's a damn fine question. I'm... I don't know, guys. We'll have to see how this pans out. I'm a little skeptical that this is going to do much. Nameless is saying it just removes up to 3 focus, like Zahak's EE. So if she starts with 50% focus, this overcomes that. She starts with 50% focus, this removes 60% of it. So even if she had 50% and she takes a turn, now has 60%, now that focus is gone. Is that what I'm reading here? Is that how this works? I mean, clearly this is designed to take care of Afternoon Soak Flan, and I think it will work. I think for a lot of players it will work, but this is a cleave unit. He is a cleave support unit. He is a speed unit. And you know who you don't take Afternoon Soak Flan into is cleavers. People who first pick Afternoon Soak Flan get cleaved. The damage output is just so high they kill her on a miss. Are you going to take Eligos? I mean, where does Flan shine? Where do you use Flan, right? Use Flan when people are running standard or somewhat of a tank down, and you're going to run a sustained fight that's slower, so you can use Flan as your primary DPS while you outlast them, right? I cleave a lot, and I've never been scared of Flan when I'm cleaving. I never ban her when people pick her into my cleave. I just murder her. Because she doesn't have a lot of health, and cleave outputs so damn much damage, you usually just kill, even on multiple misses. BBK hits her with an S3, then hits her with an S1. Flans don't survive that, even on a double miss. So, who's this for? Who's this buff for? Eligos is like a second turn unit team now. Is he, though? Is he really usable in a turn 2? You take care of Flan, and then he dies, and now you're 3-on-3. It's just a 1-for-1 removal. I don't know. I'm not sure this has a place. We'll see what the chefs cook up. I'm just not sure that this has a place. It looks really good, right? It looks like, oh, I freaking hate Flan. Oh, nobody hates Flan, but I hate what Flan does to me. No, I don't really hate what Flan does to me. I don't hate how she makes me feel. I don't like losing, and Flan makes me lose. So here's a tool to go against Flan, but I'm not sure it's a tool that works with the rest of the team that I would take into Flans. Now, maybe some of the chefs are going to cook up ways to use this in a team that takes out Flans that is still useful. It still has the synergy with other anti-Flan units, right? We'll see. I'm not seeing it right yet. My knee-jerk reaction is this really going to change the way he's played? And is this really going to change the way people counter Flan? Maybe it will. Maybe I'm missing something. We'll let the chefs cook. You guys let me know what you think. I'm on the fence about it. It's a whole lot of words that could be a great answer to Flan, or could just change absolutely nothing about his usage. 2-turn stealth is pretty freaking huge, though. I think this is the strongest thing in his entire balance patch, is that he gets to be stealth for 2 turns. Because let me tell you what, man. Yuli's closer stealth for 2 turns. How do you get him out of stealth? You got to hit him, right? How do you hit him? You got to use an AoE, right? Who's coming out soon that hates it when you do AoE attacks? Yeah. So, whoever it was that said earlier that he's, you have to disagree his time. I really missed the point with this buff. Explain to me the point of this buff, Zon, because I don't see it. It looks like this buff is all about stopping Flan, and I don't know that it does. You think he's a better cleanup unit before? I think with 2-turn stealth, he's a very good cleanup unit. I'll give Zahn a minute to answer because I'm not sure what the point of this buff is. That I mean, I don't understand the point of this buff other than it looks like a clear attempt to stop Afternoon Soak Flan, and the additional stealth, the gab. It's weird they give him a gab for damage proportional to speed rather than a speed buff, but, you know. Oh, you know, damage proportional to speed rather than the difference. So this is going to hit a lot harder. Yeah, it makes him better. I just don't think it makes him good enough. I don't think this is going to change anything. We'll give Zahn a few minutes to type up an answer, because maybe he's seeing something I don't. I don't know that this is going to change his usability. But we'll see. Chloe. One of the RGB units that needed a buff the most. Probably one of the worst RGB units in the game. So let's see. All they're doing is increases the attack of the caster for 3 turns. Attacks the enemy. So we're giving her a 3-turn attack buff, huh? Everything else is the same, but Magic Bolt's also giving her a 3-turn attack buff. Okay. Magic Nail. When attacked, damage suffered equivalent to 2% of the max health. Has 25% chance to on 1 turn. Ignores ER. When attacked, additional damage proportional to the attacker's attack. Okay, so they're getting rid of this. Which is good, because most things are immune to this now, right? All expeditions are immune to this. Damage dealt is increased when the enemies inflicted with Magic Nail. And 2, when the enemies inflicted with Magic Nail, ignores ER. And inflicts a stun. Most PvE stuff can't be stunned. They're getting rid of the damage dealt increased and changing it to... They're removing the damage dealt as increased. They're decreasing the damage. So they're just straight up making this skill hit a lot less hard, right? They're taking the damage dealt increased away, and they're decreasing the damage in general. And they are letting her ignore ER stun for 1 turn. It's a 1-turn stun. What's the point of this? Let's see what they say the point is. Chloe will be adjusted to make better use of Magic Nail. The effect of Magic Nail will be changed to deals increased damage proportional to the attack. I guess they're saying, okay, I guess they're saying that, hey, if you're using this outside of PvE, outside of Wyvern, you want Magic Nail to scale off of her attack, and we're giving her an attack buff, and that is so much more damage from Magic Nail that we can decrease this damage here and remove this here, and you're still going to nuke, and you can stun the enemy at the same time. Chloe will no longer focus on effectiveness because she ignores ER. And can more easily inflict debuffs on the enemy with high ER. Maybe I could let her cook. You guys really think this is for Rift? I was on board that this was for Rift when they got rid of this, right? Because Rift is immune to damage scaling off of HP, right? You can't use Daydream Joker in Rift. So I was kind of on board that this was for Rift up till this point. You don't stun PvE bosses. They're universally immune to stun. Like once you get out of Chapter 3, they're immune to stun. And there is zero chance. I mean, this strikes me as a, okay, you 2% of the enemy.
Uncle Voki's whitey thumbnail. This balance patch note is flatter than Ravi.
Shit. Holy crap, did he actually say that on his thumbnail? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Hang on, hang on. Holy shit. That's fire. That's fire. I don't know if this is a misguided attempt to try to force a PvE unit into RTA like they did with Alots, but this isn't going to do it, right? Stunning for 1 turn and doing additional damage based on attack on Chloe. Nobody's ever going to use Chloe in RTA, guys. It's not going to happen. This isn't going to be enough damage for her to nuke and one-shot things inside of Guild Wars. And, an attack buff alone... unless the proportionality is like 500%, she's not going to nuke anything. I think this is terrible. The only possible use is Rift, and the fact that it's an ignore ER stun feels stupid. Unless the Rift's got some kind of a weird mechanic where it says stunning the Rift boss makes the boss cleanse the stun and activate this thing, which makes him weak, right? It's got some weird built-in mechanics. So perhaps this is a preparation for the Rift that's coming up where she would be a support unit. Remember, Rift is all about selling us new units now. Unfortunately, Rift is their way to sell us units. When Fire Rift came out, they sold us Kayn. When Earth Rift came out, they sold us Wukong. When Water Rift comes out, they're not going to say Chloe is your go-to. They're going to sell us a water unit to use in Water Rift. Right? But she could be a support unit. When Fire Rift came out, Haste was very important. When Earth Rift came out, Bernard was very important. So was Vivian. So maybe Chloe is going to be adjusted to be the very important unit for Water Rift. I don't know. None of this supports the team. All of this just supports her. I've never seen a boss immune to Magic Nail. So maybe this is set up for use on Rift. I just can't get past the stun. I don't know. We'll see. If this isn't for Rift, then this does nothing. And her exclusive equipment changes, so... Increase the combat radius when using Heavy Strike. Heavy Strike or S1? That actually could be a, I mean, nobody's using this, because damage is being nerfed anyway. 85% chance to decrease defense. Decrease the enemy defense for 2 turns when you Hyper Strike. Has an 85% chance to decrease defense when you use 2 turns. When the target is inflicted with Magic Nail, ignores effect resistance. Why would they nerf it down to 85? Why would they go from 100 to 85? Ignores RNG. Added in RNG. What the hell? We put in ignores ER so you don't get 15%ed. Oh, and by the way, you can get 15%ed on the skill. They added 15% over top of removes 15%. Fuck! God damn it, Smilegate. How can you touch greatness and then just fall like this? This would have made her such a great hunt unit. To have a guaranteed defense break with a guaranteed magic nail. Suddenly we could build some hunt teams around this girl. I can't. Not even kidding. Even the... Oh, this really pisses me off. It's a PvE unit. We have been saying, take 15% out of PvE over and over and over again. And you jackasses keep adding 15% into PvE. What is wrong with you guys? Why do you want to make the game not fun? This is awful. This. I can't right now, guys. I'm sorry. I can't be mad about it. I'm not mad. Smogate, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Please don't break Labyrinth. Please, please, please don't break my Labyrinth farm. Okay. Before granting increased attack and defense to the caster for 2 turns, this is her Scream skill. Now it's 70% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Okay, you know what? We take away her attack and defense buff. No big deal. We add a defense break to her. Whatever. It's fine. Soulburn for ignore ER. Okay. Dragon's Charge. When an enemy is defeated, fully decrease cooldown of the skill. Now, after increasing attack of the caster for 2 turns, attacks the enemy with message. When an enemy is defeated, grants an extra turn. I should be reading the Awakened anyway. When the target has a debuff, damage dealt increases. Okay. When the skill is available according to cooldown, hang on. After an ally, except for the caster attacks, target is silenced, increase combat risk cash by 100%. Use the skill if the enemy has a debuff, increases combat radius the skill by 20%. Guys, 1 second. I just need to check one thing. So I thought, no changes to her S1 skill, and her S1 skill is what lets you do the Yufine Labyrinth. They didn't fuck with her EEs, did they? Okay, they didn't fix... Okay, good. So, this should not break Yufine Labyrinth. So that's good. That's good. Now let's... So, if they didn't break Yufine Labyrinth, what did they do? Oh, wow. They gave her a shit ton more gear score. Holy crap. So, we got about, what? About, 10 more gear score to play around with. If you've got Yufine imprints, this is huge. This will let you build her a lot stronger. And let's see. After increasing attack, after increasing attack past 2 turns, attacks the enemy with a massive blade. When the enemy is defeated, grants an extra turn. This is just Jacko at home, right? This is just Jacko. This is Jacko for people who didn't pull Jacko. This is Jacko so they don't have to run Guilty Gears again. No Chains of Chiron, but you've got an AoE defense break. 70% chance, but an AoE defense break. That you can soul burn to ignore ER with, 30% RNG. If the enemy has a debuff, increases combat risk caster by 20%. Enemies defeated, grants an extra turn. And it's just damage dealt increased. So, if you've got Zeo and you want to Jacko cleave people, Yufine. Another tool for Harsetti, right? You can S3 with Zeo, pushing Yufine up. How much is Yufine, or how much is Jacko's CR push? It's a lot more than that, isn't it? 30% CR push. Okay, so with Jacko, it's a 30% push. With Yufine, it's a 20% push. So you're going to need to build Yufine faster than Jacko. 20% push is kind of is old Ida range, right? Ice Ida range. So you're going to need to be like 245 speed kind of a thing. Whereas Jacko, you know, I mean, Jacko doesn't need to be fast at all. My Jacko's 195, still cuts. You probably need to be like 225, 230 minimum for the slow meta. And if you want to race with her, probably around 230 to 240 if you want to race with her. I think for people that already have Jacko, they're not going to use this. But for people who missed the Guilty Gear collab and didn't pull Jacko, this is going to be really nice. Oh, wait. Jacko's extra damage, you know, Jacko does damage because she penetrates. This doesn't penetrate. This just does increase damage. Yufine might be a better Jacko if Ilanov is on the board. You think? Jacko does both pen and increase damage. I guess we have to see the numbers, right? But yeah, Jacko does say pens 50% and does extra damage. This just does extra damage. Okay, say hello to Jacko at home. How's Yufine's multiplier compared to Jacko's multiplier? Exactly the same. Exactly the same. 1 POW, 1 attack. This is, yeah, this is just Jacko at home, guys. It's nice. It's really nice for people that miss the Guilty Gear collab. She doesn't push the team. She only pushes herself. It's a 20, the team pushes her. Cast her by 20%. Oh, Jacko yes, everything about Jacko is better. And I'm just happy they didn't break the Yufine Labyrinth cheese. Jacko is a bridge, Yufine does not bridge. The only thing that Yufine's got over Jacko is Yufine can scream and ignore ER AoE defense break that does nothing 30% of the time, right? But you can burn it to guarantee the dispel of a buff, so I guess, maybe, kinda.
Wait. It's 280k.95 power.
Which? Jacko or Yufine? So she hits... That would be significantly harder. So she hits significantly harder than... Yeah, Yufine is going to hit like a truck then. Okay, so... She's slow. She's got less of a push than Jacko. But she hits harder than Jacko. She doesn't have Jacko's penetration. But that means when Ilanov is on the enemy team, and Ilanov's always on the freaking enemy team. Okay, so if you want to Zeo Jacko cleave somebody, but they pick Ilanov to slow you down, you can instead pick a well-built Yufine and absolutely murder them. Okay, so she's no longer Jacko at home. She's a situationally better Jacko. She hits harder. Jacko's going to hit harder with that 50% pen if you're allowed to, pen. Why only Zeo, though? You can run her Ran or Bryseri. You can.
It's because her mana tanks give her downward momentum.
Okay, so pros to Jacko is you can bridge your team with her. and you can penetrate for more damage. Pros to Yufine is when penetration is off the table or is seriously limited. Yufine's mods just hit significantly harder. She doesn't bridge the team, but she does have a strip and defense break that Jacko doesn't have. And she's an earth unit, whereas Jacko's a fire unit. So if somebody tries to counter you with ice stuff, you've got an option. You know what? I'm down with it. I'm down with it. It's another option to Jacko cleave. It's really nice for people who missed out on Jacko, and there's certain situations, certain niches where she is going to work just better than Jacko. Yeah, I'll take it. I think it's good, and it doesn't break her usefulness in soloing Labyrinth, because they didn't fart around with her EE and they didn't fart around with her skill 1, and that's all that really matters. Silence EE still best for PvP then? I guess. I'd have to look at her other EEs. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you want her /1 for your PvE version, and you want your Dragon's Roar 1 for your PvP. You're not going to be a situation where you're likely to use her S1, so this one doesn't do you much. So yeah. We'll have to re-gear Yufine. Look, she's all excited. She's all flustered. And I was kind of sad that I wasn't getting to use both of them, but now I can, because I have my my one for clearing soloing Labyrinth, and then I can build this one to use an RTA, because I loved Yufine cleaving. I loved it. Yufine cleaving, you know, nuking people with Yufine was my jam for about 2 weeks, and then Jacko came out and totally stole her job, and she never really had a place. Now she's got a place. So far, this is my favorite one of the patch. I'm excited to use Yufine again. Sinful Angelica. Okay, so we're going from a 75% chance to a attack break to a 75% to defense break. On a dual attacking unit, having a defense break on your S1 is crazy good. Crazy good. And Soulburn just takes it up to 100%. Okay, yeah. Just major plus in every metric. In every metric. Holy shit. This makes her even better in Wyvern as your frontline unit. Yeah. It's great. Great. When the caster is immortal, enemies cannot revive. Enemies cannot revive. Wow. Unconditional. You can't strip her immortality or wait for her immortality to just run out and then bring things back to life. As long as she is alive, you can't revive. So, Bryceria. And we are going from dispelling 1 debuff to dispelling 2 debuffs. Wow. Wow.
Angie wins this balance patch.
Okay. Bryceria versus Angelica. While Bryceria exists, nobody can revive. While Angelica exists, nobody can revive. Same. Bryceria can defense break on her S1. Angelica can defense break on her S1. Same. Bryceria can defense break on her S3. Angelica cleanses on her S3, different. So, Angelica's a little bit more,
Sinji really took Pirate Flan's diff break and is a better Briar that doesn't hurt your own team.
I'm not sure she's a better Briar, but she definitely took Pirate Flan's defense break. Okay, so Sinji Dispel. Sinji cleanses your team as opposed to Briar, who debuffs their team. AoE defense breaks, AoE strips, all that kind of good stuff. Enemies, yeah. Oh, you're right. Holy shit.
Right.
Not the same. Not the same. Briar stops everyone from reviving. Everyone. Sinji just stops the enemies. You can still revive. You can run Briar and Maid, and Maid doesn't work. But you can run Sinji and Maid.
Angie only block revive to the enemy.
Yes,
but
yes.
Still allow your team to bring reviver.
I got it, Witch. Calm down. Okay, wow. Situationally better Briar. With a cleanse, Soulweaver artifacts, high ER to keep her from being strippable, and the dual attack. The dual attack. Angelica will be adjusted to be more user-friendly. Holy shit, right? With Soul Harvest, enemies cannot revive even if she is not immortal. Additionally, the number of debuffs dispelled from allies by Dark Salvation increased by 2, which is really all you need. I mean, cleansing 2 debuffs is practically a full cleanse. And she gives you an attack and a speed buff too, guys. It's not just 2 things get cleansed. 2 things get cleansed, and you get the 2 of the most important buffs in the game, attack and speed. Furthermore, debilitating strike. God. She attack buffs, she speed buffs, she cleanses your whole team. She can defense break the target and dual attack. And she stops the enemy from reviving. Holy crap, guys. This is a really, really good buff. I think we're going to start to see Sinji in PvP, guys. Like, a lot. If you're in a situation where, like, you've already drafted a raise unit, like, say you got a, Blood Moon Haste, but then they picked, like, Ruel and, Abyssal Yufine and Mort that you just know is on Holy Sack, and you want to stop all that raising, you could smash Briar, but then your Blood Moon Haste can't bring things back to life, right? Or you could slam Sinji. Now you can dual attack, defense, break, cleanse, and they can't bring anything back to life, but you can bring people back to life. I really like the Sinji change. Even more than the Yufine change.
And if you kill something, she heals team.
The first thing you kill, it's only once per turn, but yeah, the Soul Harvest healing is actually significant. Yeah, this is huge, guys. It's usually the last couple of buffs on the patch that are the pull my finger buffs.
She can cleanse, seal off herself. Briar Hammett.
Yeah, Briar can't cleanse seal. Yeah. Usually these are the ones that, like, nobody gives a shit about. These are the filler buffs, the ones that don't matter. And instead, it's like, these are the ones that don't matter. These ones are kind of okay. And then these are the ones that knock it out of the park. Okay, I'm kind of excited for both of those. Not only does it make Sinji potentially really, really good in RTA, it's going to make her giga good in Guild Wars and insane in hunts. Insane in hunts. Defense break on her S1 with a dual attack? Madness. The Eligos buff I still don't understand. I'm still not sure what Eligos' buff's really going to bring to the game. Hey, Elmer Quarter Gluten. Thanks for the sub, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you for that prime. Okay, what are we doing to artifacts? In order to sell more powder so that you have less powder before the limited banner goes up, we're buffing Sigurd's Scythe, which is currently in the powder shop. So when your health is 50% or less, increase attack by 25%. And okay, so they're lowering the amount of attack it increases. Instead of just a straight raw 25%, it's only going to be 15% at plus 15, 20% at plus 30. So they're taking 5 to 10% of your attack away, but it's no longer conditional on being at half health. It's right out from the start. So 5 to 10% less attack, but consistency. When attacking, if the caster's health 50% or less, and they're still doing the healing when your health is low. So they're bringing it more in line with an attack scaling Golden Rose, right? Yeah, it just makes it consistent. It makes it a cleaner, better artifact, which is good, because we're starting to get a lot of warrior artifacts. What are you guys saying here? Sigurd's going to be so good on ML Hua-Young. Yeah, you know what? It'll be best in slot. We were talking about using like Draco for survivability or Pipit Lance for some healing, but Pipit Lance or Pipit Lance, whatever they call it, is not a great healer. This is a massive heal. Massive heal. Yeah, I think Sigurd's is now best in slot on Hua-Young. By a large margin, which is good. Maybe they did this for Hua-Young. Maybe they realized that Pipit Lance was going to be the best artifact for her, and they didn't want to make the best artifact be a limited artifact because they don't rerun collabs. And that maybe we don't get Overlord again, so, or even if we do get Overlord again, we don't have to wait for it just to get her best in slot artifact. What about Fire Hua-Young? She's really pretty, Loki. That's about it. Until they buff her, she's not a real unit. This is pretty good. God damn it. I might need to buy another Sigurd's Scythe. An offer you can't refuse. This is Eligos' artifact. And this is one that I kind of have a vested interest in being buffed because... this artifact freaking loves me. Okay, this is including like the several that I've got already sitting in in my inventory as well, right? I got 4 here, and I got 5, 6, 7. I've pulled 7 of this artifact, so hopefully they do something good with it. Should I buy more Sigurds? The shop will be open after... Sigurd's is going to be in the shop for a bit, guys, right? It's not... That just changed, didn't it? You got 33 more days to buy more Sigurds, okay? Wait until the Senya banner is gone and that you are happy with the number of her artifacts that you have enough powder to be able to buy her artifact. You can see I barely have enough powder.
Cause this buff is an offer you just can't refuse.
So what? Make sure you have enough powder to buy Senya's artifact. If you get lucky and you just pull all the artifacts of hers that you want and you're satisfied, yeah, then I'd pick one up. I would pick one up right now if it wasn't for the fact that I'm saving this powder in case I'm very, very unlucky on Senya's banner.
Angelica also a ML Luna counter with the S3 buff?
Yes, as long as you... I mean, people play ML Luna are usually playing it fast, and you could... and she might not live. She might get killed before she gets a chance to do a thing. You seal her. Sinjis aren't known for being giga tanky.
How's balance patch so far? His Kane buff incoming. Is our vampire lore actually better?
Kane still sucks. Operator Sigrid is still in the garbage can. All the units that we wanted to be buffed didn't get buffed. The only unit that we wanted to get buffed that got buffed was Pirate Captain Flan, and her buffs look pretty garbage can too. All they do is let her be better in the way that the 1 or 2 people on Stove like to play her, so she'll be better in silver RTA. Maybe they'll actually use the unit, but that's it. No FCC, thank fucking God. Why do you guys want an FCC buff? Are you guys really thinking, I wish this game was tankier and matches would take longer? Oh my
Regarding
God.
Eligos, isn't he now budget Scholtier? Good into fire Flan.
Stop asking to slow the game down even more. Yeah, exactly, Alex. We got enough tanks running around. Do you want more Ilanovs? Do you want more LRKs? Do you want more Dragon Bride Senyas? Is that the do you enjoy Frenzy 10 games? Hell yeah. Let's just keep buffing the Knights to be ridiculous. Hell no. We don't buff FCC. We rework
gets
FCC.
An office across from Jacko. Sinji gets a new cubicle. Poor operator Sigrid is still fishing through the trash out the back as Eligos comes to put her out of her misery.
Okay, let's check offer we can't reviews, then we'll do a quick recap. So, when defeating an enemy with a single attack, increases combat race of the ally with the highest attack, or highest combat race except for the caster by 20%. Ugh, it's a mouthful. So basically, whoever's number 2 to go gets the push. After attacking with a single attack, when the target receives damage equivalent to 50% or more of max health, has a 50% chance to increase combat race of all allies by 15%. Whew, combat race increase can only be activated once per turn. Does this make the Eligos buffs make sense? All of Eligos' attacks are 15%. And after somebody with this artifact attacks, he doesn't need Guiding Light because of his EE. I don't know. What's that artifact I don't have called? So it's basically this but single target and without the attack buff. I guess it's good on Eligos. Is there a better artifact for Eligos, though? Eligos is going to be insane? I don't think so, Loki. Where is Eligos going to be insane? What are you going to use her to do? Or what are you going to use him to do? When attacking with a single attack, this is not best in slot for Aslan. Unless you're saying, unless you're going to try to bridge with Aslan? I already said it like 10 times. Say it one more time. I'm looking now, Loki. Hang on. Actually, you have to say it again. Let's look here. Hang on. I can do this. How do I do this? Tristen, would you agree at Eligos perfect flan counter? Regarding Eligos, isn't he budget shout here? Good into fire flan. Eligos opener, Eligos into fire flan. Okay, first you only said it like 4 times. No, I don't. I think he's good into Fire Flan, but how? Like, he is a soft, weak-ass unit. I don't know, guys. I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not. Yeah, he'll one-tap Ass Flan, then he will get one-tapped, and now you're back down to 3v3. Yes, that's fine, but Flan still dies to AoE attacks. Or not AoE attacks. Flan still dies to cleave. And you use this unit when you cleave. Are you saying you're going to use this unit with tank down and turn 2 play? If we can make this guy work in tank down or turn 2 play, then yeah, he will be a great counter to Flan. But you know who doesn't care about Flan? Cleavers. Yeah, only turn 1. Turn 1 kills Flan anyway. She doesn't have the ass to survive to cleave. Cleavers don't care about Flan. They just murder her. Even on a miss, they just chew right through it. You don't need a specific unit to deal with a unit that just already dies when you cleave. His damage is insane. He has stealth. Maybe you're right and I'm wrong. I'm just not seeing it. I think you guys are saying, oh, this is a silver bullet to take care of Ass Flan, and I'm thinking, with who? You can't look at these one-on-one. You got to build a team around it. Build me a team around Eligos that takes out Flan that doesn't already take out Flan. Eligos will be a good cleaver when you cannot use AoE. And that right there, that might be a thing, right? Because we've got this Lolly Senya unit coming up where if you do AoEs, you can get your ass handed to you. So maybe in a world where you are worried about AoEs triggering all this kind of stuff, maybe. I'm just not seeing it. Worst case, Eligos trades with Flans. I don't like 1-for-1 trades. Not when you're playing aggressively. That's not winning a fight. That's stalemating a fight. That's really hoping the rest of your team can carry. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Eligos is everything you guys are cracking up to be.
PTSD incoming. Asflan with Eligos.
We'll see, guys. We'll see. Because if you pick him early, they're going to build a team around destroying him. And if you pick him late, if they want to keep Flan, they'll just ban him. I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see this artifact in him. I don't see a useful synergy. But again, no frame, no opinion. I could be very, very wrong. Maybe you guys are seeing something I don't see. But I just don't think he's going to work the way we think. And I don't think this artifact does anything that this artifact doesn't do better for most units. I know this is AoE, not single target, but other than using it on Eligos himself, I don't know anybody that's going to care about having this artifact on them. Who would use this artifact? Give me a unit that uses an offer you can't refuse. Somebody in chat, anybody can use this? When I pick Shaltir into Flan, are you cleaving? No. But Shaltir, I don't know, maybe. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. I also don't pick Shaltir into Flan. I just kill Flan. Opsig, yeah. Surely this is the thing that makes Opsig not gutter trash. Wanda, Leah. What the fuck is a Wanda and a Leah?
Wait, cooked.
You're just making up names now.
Eligos at all. Wait for it. 'Cause there's better unit options.
Yeah, so stop making up names. I said, give me some units that this works with. Light Silk, why would you ever run her on something other than Sachets or on Guiding Light if you need her to be invisible? Light Shuri? You would never run Light Shuri on anything that's not Sachets. Green Silk? Fuck's a Green Silk? There's such a unit as a Green Fire lit it. Okay, we're just gonna stop now. We're just gonna stop. Okay. overview. What do we think, guys? I think the Pirate Captain
What
Flan...
if we just admit this balance patch is a majority swing and a miss?
Pirate Captain Flan's buff makes her objectively better in the current way she is used, and the current way she is used is she isn't used. She still has all of her original problems and no real solutions to those problems. So, unfortunately, I think the Pirate Captain Flan, I think she goes from D tier to C tier, right? She goes from unusable / needs a buff to extreme niche usages. She still requires a powerhouse limited artifact. Big F for Pirate Captain Flan, unfortunately. This isn't the buff we were looking for. This isn't the buff the community wanted. Smilegate's still catering to...
I will be the villain and say this Pirate Flan buff is healthier than the old buff we got. But Hunt is still useless. We should have gotten Pillage instead.
I will argue that this buff is not healthier than the last buff because although the last buff was overtuned, it at least made her exciting and usable. She would have been in multiple drafts. People would have cooked synergies. People would have complained that we need answers to it. She would have shaken things up. Whereas this buff does nothing. This buff leaves her as a useless, unused unit. This buff satisfies nobody except for the 1 or 2 silver players who claim that they played this unit a certain way and that amazing buff did nothing for them and ruined it for the rest of us. Now we've got a Pirate Flan who is about as useful as a Summertime Assaria. And I take that back. Summertime Assaria, after her buff, she's actually got some uses. I don't know. The niche uses for Pirate Flan are few and far between. I don't think this does anything. I think it's a big F for Flan. Closer Charles buffs, I think, are preparation buffs. When you look at them just on paper, it doesn't look like they do a lot. But if we gave him a speed EE, I think suddenly he's going to be very usable. And I'm almost kind of expecting it, that we're going to see an EE with speed on it for Closer Charles. The Archdemon Shadow buffs is straight up a buff. It makes her better. Going to that 100% seal is really nice. I don't like that they took the blind away. I think it's going to make her harder to play because she's going to have some minor survivability issues, but I do think we'll see more Archdemon Shadows. Seal is really, really strong. We'll have to see. I think, if anything, it might move her out of the C tier and up to the A or B tier. We'll see. The Eligos buff, I just don't understand. I get what they're trying to do, and I get why the community's excited, and I think this is going to be one of those situations where everybody's going to talk about this buff makes them insane, and then 1 week later nobody plays the unit because it just didn't work out. We've all seen that before, right? We saw that a dozen times with Fire Robbie before they got one that stuck. We saw it a dozen times with Melissa before they got a buff that stuck. They make a unit that looks great on paper, but I think when people go to test this, they're going to find it doesn't work the way they think it's going to work. So we'll leave this one in testing required, right? I could be very wrong, and this will be insane, and he'll be used everywhere, and I hope they do, because Eligos is a freaking Giga Chad, and I love using this character, especially when he throws that suitcase on Zeo. I mean, who doesn't love giving a child a exploding suitcase, right? I mean, this is a great unit. I hope it works out. My guts tell me it's not working out right. Chloe, I don't know what the hell they're doing with Chloe. Maybe it's a Rift buff. The 100% chance to ignore ER stun thing feels stupid. If it's not for the next Ice Rift, then it does nothing. The Yufine buff, I'm excited about. The Yufine buff, I think a lot of people are sleeping on. She does significantly more damage than Jacko. She doesn't have the issues of the penetration block. So she will be able to nuke things even when they have... If you ever wanted to Jacko cleave and some jerk slams Empyrean Ilinov on the team, Yufine will cleave better than Jacko. Also, being a green unit, it gives you the diversity of a Jacko cleave where if there are water units on the team. Let's say somebody slams, I don't know, Elena. Yufine can just kill that. You don't have to worry about the 50-50 miss on Jacko. Yeah. Sinful Angelica, I think, wins the patch note. She is situationally a better Briar Witchesaria, right? Having the raise block be unconditional and having it only apply to the enemy team and not your own team opens up synergies where you can couple her with units like Ruel, with units like Blood Moon Haste, with units like Apoc, Ravi, and Maid. You don't have to worry about slamming Bryceria to stop them from raising and stopping yourself too. She does not have that double-edged sword negative that Bry has. She doesn't have an offensive S3, but she's got a defensive S3. You've still got to worry about her immortality to be able to do the dual attacks. Much like Bry, she's got a defense break on her S1, but her S1 also dual attacks, which is something Bry's doesn't do. So, yeah. I think we're going to see Sinful Angelica everywhere, and I'm kind of excited to use this unit. And the best part about it is none of the changes that all potentially bring her into RTA don't take her out of Guild Wars and PvE. She's going to be even better and more consistent. Wyvern Hunt unit, PvE unit, Guild War unit. Everything they did about Singia is a W. She is the clear winner. So if you want to sort these in best to worst, you can almost flip it on its head, where we've got the best buffs, some I don't quite understand it, but maybe it'll be revealed later buffs, and a good solid buff, kind of a incomplete buff, and then a disappointing trash buff. Artifacts, we got Sigurd's Scythe buff is making it significantly more consistent. It's going to be the best in slot for Huayang. It's going to be best in slot for a lot of warriors. No more reliance on Pipit Lance, which is kind of nice since that's a collab already. And then an offer you can't refuse potentially makes Eligos a bridge unit by giving us a CR push to the entire team. It only works on single target attacks, rendering it pretty much useless for any other unit, right? There's not a lot of single target units that would use this. I mean, there's units that... all the single target units I can think of that use this are married to Guiding Light, or are already on a CR boosting artifact like Sasha Ethanes. So they're just going to use Sasha Ethanes, and I guess the units range units that are already pre-stealth, like Cavill, Commander Pavel, he's just going to be straight up better on Dux Noctis for damage. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Do I know why Smilegate hates Fallen Cecilia that much? Okay, I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the back. Stop asking for Fallen Cecilia buffs. Stop inviting evil to the table. She was a great disaster unit. She's already pretty good at her job. If you want a mitigation knight, slam her on there. She doesn't need a buff. She needs a complete kit rework, which is going to upset some FCC lovers, I'm sure. But we don't need the meta to be slower and tankier. I swear to God, if this meta gets any slower and tankier, I'm going to just uninstall and go play Words with Friends. You know what? Hello Kitty Adventure Island is calling my name, because anything would be better than saying, let's introduce another giga tanky unit by buffing FCC. That would be the worst thing ever. We need to change FCC, not buff her. It's almost like a meme. People are saying it without thinking of the implications. Yeah, Wolf and Roses has got it square here. Imagine a buffed FCC with Ruel. Imagine a buffed FCC with Albedo. Imagine a buffed FCC with Ilanov, Senya, Crow, Tywin. We've got so many giga strong knights right now. What this game doesn't need for balance is to tip the scale even further in that direction. Now, if they can find a way to change FCC to give her a new job, like they did with Last Rider Crow, I'm down with it. But I don't want that unit buffed. I don't want them to just say, let's make her stronger. Let's make her barriers undispellable. Let's give her a pop damage on her S3. I don't want them to just do something that makes her better. So, yeah. I'm kind of okay that there's no FCC buffs. I'm not okay that there are no operator cigarette buffs. How long are we going to leave that waifu in the trash, guys? I thought it was supposed to be zero defect city. When are they fixing this defective unit? Anyway, that's my take on it. I'll put this together into a video for you later, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Pound for pound, God damn it.
All allies become immune to injury. Game saved.
No, game not saved. All allies become immune to injury. Makes the meta slower and tankier. One of the main ways we deal with this garbage can slow tank down meta is injury, and you're going to take that away. That's exactly the worst thing they could do. Those are the kind of buffs we don't want for FCC. Anyway, pound for pound, a lackluster balance patch. I'm excited for Sinful and Yufine. I'm really glad they didn't break the PvE usage. Everything else, we'll let the chefs cook, guys, but this isn't the massive big change balance patches that we talked about, or that Smilegate talked about starting to do. So I don't know why it's so slow. Maybe they are going at it kind of gentle to not make people have regrets about locking in their headhunts early. We'll see. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right. I got to remember to turn off freaking text-to-speech next time. For FCC, if they change it so her passive cleanses all debuffs and gives a barrier once an ally reaches 50% health. Again, you're just doing stuff that's slowing the meta down and making it tankier. FCC's passive gives all allies 10% increased HP. Again, you're making the meta tankier. These are garbage can choices for FCC, guys.
New passive. No one can do more than 100 damage per hit smiley face.
Yeah, why not? Why not? While FCC is on the field, any attack into an enemy while they're wearing skill null full heals the enemy. There you go. Awful, awful, awful.
No. Yes. This is better. FCC passive gives all allies gain 10% increased HP. ML Senya passive, but for everyone.
Okay, you guys are just trolling now. I'm going to turn the text-to-speech off for a few minutes, and we're going to look at the comment section. I'm sure this will be fun. I'm sure everybody's excited and supportive about the Flan buffs. Players wants the buff you made for Flan with the pillage thing, so yeah, but they're not going to do it because Smilegate doesn't backtrack, right? They made a decision to change it. They aren't going to change it back, but yeah. We all wanted that, but it's not going to happen. Please buff Fallen Cecilia. There's no way you are not seeing this in every... Whatever, guys. One day they're going to buff Fallen Cecilia, and then you're going to spend the entire time crying about how boring and slow RTA is. So Flan's still locked behind a plus 30 artifact? Yep, she is. She is. Thank you, Stove Community, for canceling her previous buff. It was really one guy. It was one utter moron who got the buffs canceled, and then everybody else jumped on his bandwagon. And it's also partially the Stove Community's fault for not stopping it, because all of us knew he was an idiot. We just assumed Smilegate would see he's an idiot too, and we didn't say anything. So the vocal minority won out, and now the vocal majority knows. Now the vocal majority knows that when somebody puts a really bad L take into Stove, to jump in and call them out. And it happens now. People say stupid things in Stove, they get dogpiled on. The last patch was a one-time thing. They said to my face they're going to try to do larger patches with more units. So I'm kind of surprised that this has so few units in it. Well, they may have just perpetuated a lie, Inferno, because if they told us that, that's what they were told. So if I tell you something, if I say the devs promise that next week there's a collab and then the devs don't do a collab, did I lie to you or did I just tell you about the devs lie? Right? So the people that told me that, I don't think that they decided to do fewer units. I'm thinking maybe they did the fewer units so that people would not too many people would have regrets on locking in their headhunts. Maybe it's because it's end of season, we get a bigger one next time around. None of these go into effect until after season's over. These don't go into effect until the 19th, and season's over on the 13th. So this has no impact on the season at all. P-Flan buffs are pathetic. She is still almost as unusable. Please give us pillage divert. Yep. Agreed. Oh, can't log in yet. Just because P-Flan buff isn't insanely good doesn't mean the rest of the buffs aren't great, so drop the idea of the last balance patch was well, the last balance patch was good. This balance patch has like 2 good units. The last one had like one or 2 units that didn't do anything. I mean, other than A-Lots and well, P-Flan got canceled. Other than A-Lots, everything on the last patch was amazing. The devs are trying to put ML Flan back in the middle ground between... I don't know. I don't know if I agree with this guy. Yep. Nope. I don't agree with anything this guy says. Looking good, especially Eligos. I'm not seeing it, but a lot of people are saying Eligos is good, so we'll see. You call that a buff for Yufine? Yes. Yes, I call that a huge buff for Yufine. Are you high? Did you look at what she does? This guy's a dumbass. Okay. You're so dumb. Hard stuck in champs for sure. Oh my god, get him. See, this is what I mean. When people come out with a completely stupid L take about buffs, the vocal majority is speaking up. We're not letting it happen like last time. We're not letting somebody say, these buffs are bad, you need to reverse it, and then other people just agree with them or click the thumbs up button, and people that know better just ignore it. Now when people say stupid things that threaten a really good buff, the vocal majority's jumping on saying, you are a dumbass, so that Smilegate doesn't listen to dumbasses. It's a little more toxic, but it's kind of necessary. Is that a typo on Yufine's S1? That's not her S1, dude. That's her S2. Like the buff for ML Flan, Eligos, and Angelica. I like the buff for Angelica. Agreed. Good pound such overall. Love the Archdemon buffs, except for the... Yes! Preach it, Lancer. Preach it. I hate losing the blind. Why would they... I mean, they almost had perfection with Archdemon, and then they took out the blind. I agree. He is more versatile. I'm just not sure if he's more usable. Yufine is situationally better, Jacko. She's also Earth instead of Fire, which opens up options. I don't know if this is just for Rift or not, guys. With her S3 centering around stun, I'm skeptical that it's for Rift. I legit think they're trying to make her... I think they're trying to give her the A-Lots treatment. They're trying to make her somewhat of an RTA unit who can stun with the extra damage and the defense breaks. I'm just not sure it's a thing. These changes are exciting. Please consider taking a look at Briarwitch Assaria. I cannot help consider exclusive quiet under... Yes, yes, we obviously need Briarwitch Assaria buffed. Good take, good take. Leafland's joke. Clay buff seems okay. Whatever. It seems like a filler. Firefly's so mid. Funny. Clowns are back on the bounce team. I think Yufine's EE should also have its bonus. Yeah, you know what? I mean, she doesn't really need EE, or she doesn't really need effectiveness. That's not a bad take. Cool buffs. I'm amazed people are still trying Flaw in this good balance patch. I love P-Flam buff. Now she fits into Cleave even more. Oh, we got a stupid person. You know what? I'm down. This makes you stupid. But this, I'm kind of okay. What if FCC's buff just made her anti-seal? It doesn't change the tankiness of the game. It gives her a job. And it counters one of the most difficult units to fight in the game. I'll forgive him this little bit of fits into Cleave team's easy lunacy with this. That's one of the best takes I've seen. I like this. It's too early to do that. I mean, they killed Harsetti faster, but Luna's like a letterhead unit. So P-Flan, so what? Pillage thing. Let me frank here. Most only one. I'm one of those people. I bet those people complain towards Sarah's. Whatever. Have fun playing. Have fun playing Flan and Silver. But mad props, Kruzerg. This is freaking brilliant, especially the lore tie-in. Chef's kiss. Love it. I'm not seeing anybody saying that Yufine or Sinji is bad, though. Yufine buff is huge. I'm legit just looking for the people that are saying Flan and that are saying Yufine and Sinji are bad. Yufine and Sinji are the best buffs on this patch, bar none. All right, guys, that's our balance patch review. Sorry, I was quasi ignoring chat there while I was reading and catching up on things. I hope you'll forgive me. It's hard to read the balance patches and react to that kind of stuff while keeping up with chat. What do you guys think? Anything you disagree with me on this? I think it looks pretty mid, but Yufine, you know, Jacko style Cleave with Yufine's back on the table, and they did it in such a way that didn't take Jacko's job away, right? Jacko took Yufine's job away. They changed Yufine just enough to give Yufine a job to work where Jacko doesn't work, right? Into water units, into Ilanov. I think she's really good. And Angelica looks fucking insane. I'm gonna have to see the testing on Eligos, guys. I really am. Everybody is excited saying Eligos is this huge counter, and I don't see him doing anything Shaltir didn't already do better. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, well, yeah, it sucks, but that is what it is. In an alternate reality, we had a good Pirate Flan. So sad. Such a pretty unit. Do we get a selector from the ML Theater? How does that work? We should, Eli, but it's not been announced yet. They probably aren't going to announce it until after the headhunt is closed, because reasons. I think we're going to see a lot of Sinji on ladder. I think I got to dust off my Sinji, right? Can do this with a bit more bulk on her. There we go. Get about 10 more speed on her. Or... where's the damn hamster? We need a hamster for this. There we go. Now we're cooking. Extra 30% ER. Good luck stripping my 281 ER Sinji. Get about 10 more speed on her. Better kill her fast. This is your Angelica. See what you got, Joe. ER is a little low, I think, but that's not bad at all. But yeah, that's about the speed I'm shooting for. Yeah, I think Sinji's going to be a thing. Is there any changes for the headhunt priority from the last video of yours? No. No, there isn't. Closer Charles isn't good enough to be a pick now. Pirate Flan is definitely not good enough to be a pick now. You could theoretically say, I no longer need Bryceria because I'll just run Angelica. Like, if you're torn between Bryceria and some other unit, you might say, I'll go with the other unit and just use Sinji in place of Bry. Closer's still a loser. He's an EE away from being fucking amazing, Miko. He's a speed imprint, or speed-based EE away from being a powerhouse opener. I'm thinking of running Sinji on Water's Origin. I think you really don't want to have the immortality stripped. So that's the only change to the headhunt tier list that I can think of, and it's not really a change to the tier list, right? Bry is still top tier. It's just if you are torn between Bry and one other unit, you maybe go with the one other unit because it looks like Sinji might just be a I'm not gonna say a better Bry, but in certain situations she's gonna be better than Bry, right? The nicest thing about Sinji is Bry keeps you from raising. Sinji doesn't. So you can run Sinji with your razors. Hey, Solidus. Sorry, I had alerts muted to turn text-to-speech off there, so sorry your alert didn't make noise, but I appreciate the sub, buddy. Thank you so much. Should I grab Ruel of Light, especially since Hua's going to be out soon? I mean, Sinji and Hua are both going to be rough into Ruel. But she is a strong unit. Yeah, I mean, Hua and Sinji together are both going to be rough for Ruel. Which is good. I'm torn if I should get Ludwig or Tywin. You get Tywin. Unless you just really, really like Ludwig cleaving. Judge Kisei or Closer? If you've got the gear to build Judge Kisei, she is a very, very good and very underrated unit, but she is very, very hard to build. Whereas Closer, I think Closer's got a future. LRK Rebellion, LRK. DDR or Dilibet? I'd still go DDR, but damn, Dilibet's really, really good. Have I ordered my Luna figurine? Nah. What set's going to be best for Archdemon? Probably counter. Maybe speed. Mine's still built. Here's mine. Oh, ha. 100% seal on our S1 on a counter is going to be nice. Do I think Archdemon will see ladder use? Probably. Probably. Seal's really strong. I'm not sure how effective she'll be there, but people will definitely try her out. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Stove check-in. Where's my stove launcher? Coupon. Use on this. Oops, wrong button. Use on this account. Use. Coupon has been redeemed. Free stuff. ML Landy or ML Politis for a 2-month-old account. ML Politis. Unless you don't do RTA at all. If you don't ever plan to do RTA, it's still probably Politis, but Landy's really, really good for lots of PvE stuff and early game carries. God, for a 2-month-old account. 2-month-old account. You will get more use out of Landy right now. You will definitely get more use out of Landy. 4 to 6 months from now, when you start getting into the PvP side, I think you're going to be sad you don't have Politis. But if you're only 2 months in, why don't you get Landy? She's a fun unit. Just realize she's not got a lot of uses outside of PvE right now. But you'll have a lot more fun with her. Both of them are hard to build. Yeah, I think you'll have more fun playing the game with Landy. And by the time you get into the competitive side, I think by the time you get into the competitive side, you'll either have another chance to pull C-Poly or some other solution to her will be out. Yeah. Who should I pick? Blood Moon Haste or DDR? DDR is going to be more useful, but Blood Moon Haste is the top tier unit too. Yufine or Rowana? Do you have 2 or 3 units that are 300 speed? If the answer is yes, you go with Rowana. If the answer is no, then you go with Yufine to counter Rowana and assholes with the units that are that fast. Let me see. My RTA lobby's bugged? Is it? Doesn't look bugged. Let me see. For a 3-week-old account, not super focused on RTA, is Cfan Apolody, ML, and ML Queric good picks, or should I go with someone from the ML5 selector number 2? I would go with Mediator Queric. If you're only 3 weeks old, you're gonna find a lot of uses for Mediator Queric. How much speed substat is enough to keep? Anything that increases the speed of your top 10 units. I was deciding between Spectre Tenebrius, Cfan Apollos, and was Pirate Flan, but I'm not proud of the buffs. I've also cleared Abyss floors, and I've heard that ML Tenebria is good for that. I haven't cleared Abyss floors. Yeah, that's kind of all Spectre's good for right now, is Abyss. She used to be God tier in RTA, but not so much anymore. I mean, of all those you listed, I get C-Poly. DDR, LRK, DDR. Though LRK is very, very good, especially if you're playing with Lua. Sinji can CR push with EE. Oh, True, Amaro on the menu. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Amaro's buffs are enough to move her up into the must pick range, but sick. Guess I'm switching to that one. I was using this one because it's best for PvE, but this one, I think we definitely want to go with the CR one. God damn. Sinji's gonna be so good. A Yufine, Landy, or Bellion? I think probably A Yufine. Yufine and Landy are kind of like neck and neck for usability, but I think Yufine is just a little bit better. Yufine or Politis? Politis. US Urban Shadow Shu, Last Rider Crow, or Archdemon, Last Rider Crow. I'm belting out answers based on the most generic. This is kind of where they are in the meta, the pickability, the usability, the diversity, also based on the way I play, with kind of a slant towards RTA. Everybody's needs are a little different. If you don't play RTA at all, your choices change drastically. If you're a new player that doesn't have really good speed gear, or you're a Wyvern Hunter and you've never farmed Banshee a day in your life, your choices change drastically. Everyone's account is not the same. So when I'm just belting out answers here, understand that I don't know anything about your account. I'm just trying to give you an answer based on what's currently meta, if it's built really, really well. Isn't FCC getting buffed this balance patch? No, thank God. So far, I've only heard one FCC buff that, in my opinion, is a good, viable way to buff that unit without, like, wrecking the game, and that's make her existence stop Seal, or something about her makes Seal not work. Make her a counter to ML Luna. Other than that, every other buff I've heard proposed for FCC just makes the game objectively less fun to play. Empyrean Ilanov or Mort, better in general. Empyrean Ilanov is the strongest RTA unit in the game now, bar none. Oh, for an arena defense, though, I think it's still Ilanov. Anti-pen is so huge. And her cleanse, and her damage, and her injury, and Indomitable. Everything about her so good. Designer Lilibet or Sea Phantom Politis. Depends on how you play. Both are S tier. They're like side by side. You're saying which do you enjoy more, pizza or ice cream? Depends what I'm in the mood for. The resource reduction of Sea Phantom Politis is a big part of what makes her insane. There are units that do what Designer Lilibet does. There aren't units that do what Sea Poly does. You'll probably wind up drafting Dilibet more often, but there are things that only Sea Poly does that you'll have answers. You know, you don't have Dilibet, you can still run Laia, you can still run Last Rider Corral. You know, there's still kind of ways around it. But she's really, really good. I use Opsig and Arena, defense break the ML Ilanov, and boom. My Ilanov is excited to meet your operator, Sigrid. If you can boom her, that's great. I don't think you can. Show me your operator, Sigrid. Will damage calc it right now. How many molas do you need on Last Rider Corral? Good question. Looks like you want to max out the damage on his bike, and you want to max out the size of his barriers, and you don't give a rat's ass about his S1, because it's just a little bit of damage. You're just 30k damage? Nice. That's almost enough to kill mine. I'm not trying to shit on your Operator Sigrid. I'm just shitting on the fact that Operator Sigrid is an ML5 whose kit is just so bad right now. She really, really needs some love. Such a nice designed unit. Really needs something to bring her back into the game. Yes. from your AI kit. Have I started my Kid Senya pre-farm? Is it bad that I'm just going to keep pre-banning Harsetti so I don't have to use Kid Senya? But no, I haven't started the pre-farm. I mean, I've already got everything I need to build her. Make Operator Sigrid ignore passes. That would be a help. That'd be help. Ooh, this bottom team, man. This bottom team is like the meta right now, isn't it? Let's see. Let's... How can we do this? Let's... Zeo? But we use the damage Zeo. And let's... Rita? And Melissa? This works, right? Burn, push back, push up, push up, push up. S3, curse, kill, kill. Win. Okay, and this top team... Ew. What's my rating on the balance patch? C. C minus. There's, what, 8 things on the balance patch? Nine things on the balance patch, and only 3 of them were interesting. Right there. Potentially. I don't think this one's going to be what people think it is. And this one is nice. We'll have to see how it does. I think this one's prep work. Just kind of boring. And this is only interesting for people who like to Jacko cleave and want alternatives to that. I think this is about the only thing on the balance patch that changes anything. Let me see. What are we doing here? So let's Ronnie, Rowana, and Celine. No, not Celine. Yes, Sigurd's looks really, really good, especially for the new Hua Young. What'd you guys do? Oh, that's right. This team is a lot of fun. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay, so it was Rowana. We go with, which Aria is it? This Aria? (15/19), or is it the other Aria? Can never remember which one was which. It is definitely the other Aria. Okay, so let's see. Aria. And you on the team, I don't really need you to be on this, so we can give you, I don't know, how about this? Anna's fine, and Christy be on Adamant. Yeah, this is good. Is this the season I need to grind Pirate Captain Flint's skin to get? Yes, yes, you have got like 6 days. 6 days. Get on it. You know, 6 days and 9 hours to get that skin, to get the masters, get skin locked in. It's not going to be easy to do it this week. It's a freaking feeding frenzy out there. Will Yufine still be able to auto? Yes, because they didn't change anything with her S1 or her EEs, so the Yufine changes do nothing to change lab, because you run with her skills off anyway. Yeah, there's no CR pushes. You just leave her skills off. The CR pushing happens on setup, maybe? Maybe. Maybe. Gadoosh. Smack. Might as well proc this. It didn't proc. Isn't CR push when F... Yeah, or an S3 push when... Isn't push when S3 is off cooldown. God damn it. When the skill's available according to cooldown, after an ally expires, silence counter. Okay. When the skill is available, the skill's never going to be available because you're going to have her skills turned off. But if you turn her skills off, none of her skills are available. That's why if you turn unit skills off, Tam can't reset them because it says their skills are not available. So you run with her skills off, and she has no skills available. Yes, but when you turn the skills off, it effectively puts everything on cooldown. Try it. Try turning all but one unit's skills off. Tam will only reset that unit on auto because it considers all the other skills on cooldown. They don't have skills. They are all on cooldown when the skills are turned off. So as long as you run lab with their skills off, there will never be a push because the skills will never be available. Because when the skills are turned off, the skill's never available. So it's okay, guys. Don't sweat it. Oh, and after an ally, except for the caster attacks, it's like doubly okay. You're fine, guys. It doesn't hurt lab at all. Okay, Polly's gone, so I can start to see my murder penguin. Murder penguin. Provoke baby? Aw. Counter BBK? What kind of monster? That counter killed my Christie. Can't believe a counter BBK killed my Christie. Okay, so we burn this into Mort so that we get a little bit of damage on the board because this hits giga frickin' hard without Ilanov in place. And then we S3 to push up Melissa. When the skill is available, according to cooldown count. If you turn her skill off, her skill is not available. Therefore, there will never be a CR push. Also, it only happens when an ally attacks. And she doesn't have any allies. There are multiple reasons why this does not impact her in Yufine Labyrinth, guys. I don't know how else to say it. There is no cooldown count when it's turned off. It shuts the skill off, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I'll have to check. Hang on. We gotta kill... Ugh. Should have S3'd Harsetti. I might have screwed up here, guys. I was supposed to S3 Harsetti, not Mort. I got all emotional talking about Yufine. Please kill. Okay, we're good. Just barrier up here. People keep losing to this team. You just got to use Melissa. Don't counter me. Get fucked. Okay, is Archdemon meta now? Archdemon looks a lot better. I think if she kept the blind, she would be heavily used, but without the blind, she's going to have some survivability issues. But I think a counter Archdemon is going to be even harder to deal with. I think she's going to be good. I think maybe A tier. Out of the C tier and into the A tier. We'll have to see. Okay, gotta save that last... I don't want to save the last attack. I want to play PoE today. Let's get rid of this last attack. Okay, well, we'll use the same team here. And up here... Good God, it's the exact same team again. Hey guys, if you're in a guild and you want to do well in Guild Wars, don't do this. Don't put your... forts all on the same team, because once somebody in your enemy guild figures out how to murder it, everybody else copies it, and that means they can drop both of your towers, because there's no diversity. Tell the guys in your forts to mix it up a little bit. Don't copy each other. It's actually really, really bad. Let me see. How about... we just need a mitigation knight. And since we no longer have Christie, we kind of got to put you back on... Bastion. I'm going to run a Deadeye Mimic. Because I think it's the only thing my friends aren't running, and I really enjoy Deadeyes. Sushi, we're going to go ahead and do it here, and we're going to pretend the buff is into effect and see if it changes anything, okay? We'll just take a quick look, okay? Because I've missed things before, maybe you're seeing it, but I don't see it being a problem, I really don't. It might make the setup process slightly harder, but I don't think that it will. Vroom vroom. I mean, worst case, right? It's got a pretty long cooldown on it. You got to go into one fight before the setup phase, and make the last thing you do is S3 Yufine to put that skill on cooldown. And then go in and do your setup and you're golden. Worst case. If it does cause you an issue with the setup, it might just add one additional step of do that skill first, or do that skill... You're using that S3 skill to trigger the counterattack buff anyway, and now it's not available according to cooldown, and you don't have to worry about it. I think it's fine. I really do. I think it's fine. ER setup would be hard. Here's the thing, too, right? Is, we might have a way to do it without ER. But we'll see. Nail still ignores ER. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think so, Sushi. And I think after the Yufine buffs go into effect would be a good time to put out the updated Labyrinth video anyway, just to kind of put it to bed, because I've been getting hit a lot saying, is this going to happen? Is going to break Yufine Lab? Bro, on a kill. Boop. Okay, so let's do it right this time. Let's drop this into Harsetti to damage her. Oh, Grim, I'm sorry, man. You're still good here in like another hour, right? Because I'm gonna go grab some food and then get ready. Burn into here. It goes live in about 2 hours, right? Just in time for us to all go, wow, look. Whoa, calm down, Mort. That was a fire unit you crit. Yeah, about an hour away. Damn. Pop, pop. God, if this crits, it's gonna... Well, no, she's immortal now. We're fine. We're fine. Damn, this Mort is cracked. Get dead, Mort. Whoa, strong Mort. That was a little dodgy there. Zio was going next anyway. I didn't need the duel. It was just icing on the cake. Excuse me. Oh no, it was Flan into my cleave team. Whatever will I do? This is a little stinky though. What kind of build do I use on my Arya? Fuck. See, I knew that was not a good look. She's a relatively high speed defense build. Arya is one of the hardest units in the game to build. I'd like about maybe 100 more defense on her, but everything else is about right. It's just hard with lifesteal to get anywhere near 15k health, and I think she needs it. I've seen a lot of people go like 12 and 11 and 12k health, and it just doesn't kind of pull it up. What's going on here, Sue? I'm just finishing off my dailies. Then I'm gonna go grab lunch and get ready for PoE2. Get your guild war done, man. We went over the balance patch. We talked about how Angelica looks freaking insane, that Yufine looks really, really good, that Eligos, I think, is overhyped and isn't going to do what people think he's going to do. Half of chat disagrees with me, half of them doesn't. That Flan's buffs are garbage, that Archdemon Shadow's buffs look kind of mid. I think Eligos is bad. I just don't see it, Sue. Where are you going to use him? And don't say into Flan. Obviously, he's designed to be countering Flan, but you aren't going to use him on a tank down team. He's not strong enough. And you aren't going to use him on a cleave team. Cleave just ruins Flan already. So I don't think he has a home. I think the buff to Sigurd's Scythe is really nice because it means people can put a best-in-slot artifact on Hua Young without having to have been here for Overlord. I think the buff to Justice for All does nothing. except potentially let you bridge a little bit with Eligos. I mean, Eligos buffs are nice. I just don't think they're it, man. And Chloe's buffs, I don't understand. People say it's... Well, that's weird. People say it's probably for Rift, but I don't really know that it is. Because why have a stun unit for Rift? What do I think about Angelica's change? I think it's the best one on there. I think Angelica is actually going to be better than Bryceria into certain situations. Because unlike Bry, you can still raise your own team. And that is huge synergy. Having one-dimensional raise block, there's no double-edged sword to it. Oh my god, that's strong. And a defense break on her S1, she legitimately got Pirate Flan's defense break. Isn't Yufine? Yes, Yufine is fine. This did not impact Yufine Labyrinth, guys. Everybody was saying that Hua Young was going to be best on Pipit Lance, and I think this makes Sigurd's Scythe just objectively better than Lance on her. Yeah, you got like 500 more defense, but you got 500 less HP and about 50 less effect resistance. 225 crit damage too. Ooh. That would bother me if I give a rat's ass about Arena anymore. Let me see. Where was my Aria? Yeah, yours is just better in every way, man. That's a really nice Aria. Props, man. The ER is a little low, is the only thing I don't like. Your ER is a little low, but with Bastion, you're golden. Maybe Iron Twig, maybe, because you're going to use her S3 to trigger the counterattack, so you use the S3, trigger the counterattack debuff, and then you start stealing it and do all this stuff to set up, and you've killed the boss before she takes another turn. And her S3 is going to be on cooldown, so you shouldn't have any problems with the pushing. I really don't think it's going to have any impact at all. But we'll see. I really think it changes nothing. But I'll definitely redo the artifact, redo the Labyrinth guide before, after the bounce patch goes into effect. Okay, one more just to maintain my frame or maintain my skin. And then I'm going to go get some food and get ready. I'll probably go live again to stream PoE as soon as I get back from lunch. Okay. You and you. Right, and once she S3s, there's no push at all. So you S3, you set up the counter buff, and then you just business as usual. Yeah, it won't make a difference after you've got all of her buffs set up. It's just the setup process that it might interfere with, and I don't think it will. How did this guy get stun locked seeing the two most common first picks? The Angelica one looks really, really good, Biako. It really does. And the Yufine one I'm kind of hyped about. Everything else I'm kind of meh on. That's a weird choice. Really, LRK? That's the unit you were worried about on my team. Okay. It'll make her giga consistent in what do you call it, in Wyvern. She'll be a much better Wyvern tank. Happy with the balance patch? It's kind of boring. I don't think it really changes much. Who goes next? You're provoked. Let's provoke you just to be safe. Get this squeezed off here while we've got the attack down so I don't do too much damage to the back row.
Only thing
Everybody go to
worse
sleep.
than the balance patch is the UI nerfs.
Should I bottle Scythe for ML Hua? No. You're talking about a 5% difference to attack, right? It's going to go from plus 15% attack to plus 20% attack. Don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it's not necessary. I just want to make sure you go right back to sleep. I think this kills now. Don't want to wake you up because you could do things. But you're still provoked, so we'll just S1 you. More injury here. Get all this stuff back. Provoke just to be safe. Kill you dead while Bryseri is still in play. And now you get to die. I can't believe you let me have like all of the control units, like all of them. But it sure is good he banned my Last Rider Crow though. All right. Okay, guys, I will be back in about 30-45 minutes. We'll stream a little bit of the PoE if it lets us. We might just run into server lag, but I will be back. I'm just going to go grab some lunch and we'll punch go live again soon. I will catch you guys in a little bit. In the meantime, where are we going to send you? Everybody go say hi to Vic Chun. Alright, hopefully I'll see you guys after lunch for a little bit of PoE, and otherwise you guys have a good one. Sorry the balance patch is kind of a snoozer, but I don't know. Hopefully Sinji and Yufine make up for it. I'll catch you guys soon.